Great.
Females will always deserve to be for rejecting nice guys like me.
Hey, so real quick, that video you just watched is about a man that people have been talking about on the internet recently. Pretty sure he's gotten taken down. Here's the problem. It's interesting to me that this is not something new. In fact, I think I did a couple videos talking about something like this, about people who are afraid of rejection, how basically talking about incels. I mean, I think people would consider him an incel, and nice guys. And recently his mom came out and she did a video pretty much not condoning his actions, saying I guess she said call the police. Basically it was just, hey, I don't support him and I've been trying to get him help for years. What I'm trying to understand is where this mindset comes from. He said, it's one thing if you think you're a nice guy and you think you are owed some type of reciprocation for being a nice guy. It's another thing when you think women or anybody you're talking to deserves to get graped because they didn't give you what you want because you're nice. There's something I need to explain real quick. If you genuinely think you're a nice guy and you feel bad or you complain about all the nice things you do, I want you to really understand what that means. Let's say, I don't know what kind of actions you do or what people claim to do, but really think about it. If you think you're a nice person and then you have upset feelings about how you're being treated, even though you're being nice, that's because in your head you think you're owed something for being nice. And when you think that, understand that that's selfish. Understand that that's coming from a place where I would have to assume you're not genuinely nice because you're expecting something back for it. Someone who is genuinely nice isn't expecting anything back. Now, on this channel, when I do things, I like to go and see where the studies say. I try to go find a couple sources. I try to find out if there's any basis or studies in psychology and the way people think and how this works. And I kept looking around and I saw something called nice guy syndrome. Now, I don't know if that's a real thing or that's something people actually talk about in that field of psychology or therapists talk about it, but there's a book and it's called No More Mr. Nice Guy. I haven't read this book. I found it on Google Scholar. It's by a man named Robert A. Glover. I have it on the side, that's why I looked over. And just going through the first couple pages, he talks about what nice guys think they are, what they think they deserve, and most of them are dissatisfied. I think I'm gonna go and review the book and go ahead and read it, but I haven't gone through it yet. I just took a glimpse. I'll go ahead and post it if anyone wants to read it. But I really do think people who genuinely think they're a nice person, if you're expecting something, you're already in the wrong. If you have bad feelings about how you're doing something, you're not genuinely nice. And that's just something you're going to have to accept or something you're going to have to change about yourself. And I understand that that's probably what's pushing people to become incels. It might even be not an active belief. You might not even realize it. But I think it's just crazy to me because, and I've talked about this in my other videos, it's too far for me to say that I treat women like dudes. Because I've said that in the past where I say I treat women like dudes. I do treat women a little different than dudes because I'm attracted to women. But when I say different, I wouldn't say different to the point that it's significant. Maybe it's just the way I talk, because obviously you can talk to a guy different than you talk to a woman. But for the most part, when I interact with people, I treat them like people, which is why when I say that I treat women like I treat dudes, is because I don't like to make any assumptions on how they feel. If you feel a certain way about somebody, tell them you feel that way. That's how. And if they don't like you, that's okay. Not everyone's gonna like you, but that's just how I was taught growing up. Not everyone's gonna like you. Don't give a fuck about if everyone likes me or not. I could give two fucks. You don't have to like me. But if you are interested in someone more than a friend, I understand there's a world where, let's say you're really good friends and then you gain feelings and you don't want to lose that friendship. You know, if it's a longer relationship like that, I can understand not wanting to put out those feelings. But here's another thing. What if if you've only known them for like a month And let's say it is a good friendship. I'm not saying you can't make a friendship in a month. I'm just saying you've only known them a month. And you're saying, I don't want to go this far because I don't want to ruin a good thing. Well, if you're having a mindset or you're having a belief that you're not being treated right, or you don't feel right about a situation, or you're not getting what you deserve, one way to solve that is to express that. A lot of people don't express that, and then they're wondering why they have these feelings, and those negative feelings blow up, and then you feel like you're owed something when you never were, and the friendship dissolves anyways. So the reason I'm saying this is what I want to say to men who feel this way. Look, if you've only known someone a certain amount of time, you can make more friends. I know it's harder to make friends now. I'm coming from a position where I have plenty of friends, people that have been in my life for more than 10 years, so it's easy for me to say. But the reason I'm saying this, if you want something more, you don't want to be friends with this person. So go ahead and put it out there. Now, it will suck that if they say no, the interaction will be awkward, and maybe you can't be friends after. It is what it is. But I think that's better than having harbored feelings. That's really all I have to say on the topic. I didn't really want to talk about what the mom came out and said because I don't really care. I care more about the mindset that this person was going through. And I just think it's very interesting that this is something that's been happening over the course of time. He's not the only person that feels this way. He was just crazy enough to post his feelings. And it's why we have a culture of incels coming out of this situation. And at the end of the day, like I said, the best thing you can do is, I'm not going to say not care what anyone thinks, because that's a hard thing to do. I can say I don't care about what people think, but I do care to a certain extent what certain people think of me. So my reasoning is, express yourself, and when you, how am I trying to say this? Express yourself and don't be afraid of rejection. Don't take it to heart, because you wanted more out of the situation. You're not getting more. And if you're not going to get more, you're going to dissolve the relationship because of harbored feelings you have anyways. The other person's going to feel weird anyways. These are all things that are going to happen regardless. So resolve it. Now, I know I say the worst thing they can say is no. That's what I was told. They can say worse things. But if they say worse things, the relationship ends there. You're done. You don't have to care about what that person thinks anymore. It's going to hurt in the moment because obviously you tried to get something, you tried to further a relationship, but that's a learning experience. And eventually, I personally think eventually you'll either get better at it or you'll be better at understanding people's feelings. And at the very least, you won't have something under the surface. Again, this is supposed to be just really short. That's all I have to say. If you liked what I'm saying, if you like discussions like this, if you like the studies that I look into, please leave a like, please leave a subscribe. Please subscribe. It helped me a lot, and I'd like to see what you guys want me to talk about. It's been a long time since I've posted anything. I'm still going to do songs of the days, so if you like new music and introduce new music, go ahead and look that in the description. Other than that, y'all have a good day.